I already recorded a 9.2a and b, so I'm calling this 9.1 plus. So it's somewhere between 9.1 and 9.2a. We are just going to look at factoring out the greatest common factor, which this textbook calls using the distributive factor property to factor out polynomials. We're going to start off with writing these in completely factored form. So we'd have 3 times x times y plus 2 times 3 times x times y times y. Then we're going to go through and pick out our common factors. They both have a 3. They both have an x. And they both have a y. So my greatest common factor is 3xy. What I have left is x plus 4y. If I use the distributive property and multiply that back out, I get what I started with, which is going to be 3x squared y plus 12xy squared. That was just my check step. I usually do that mentally. That's what I'd have written on my paper. Let's start this one the same way. A, B, B. 3 times 5, A times A, B times B. Oh, I'm going to run a room. 5 times A times B times B times B. Okay, so for my numbers, the greatest common factor is going to be 1. I don't get to take a number out this time. My variables, I've got, looks like they all have 1, 2 B's. They all have 1a, and that's my greatest common factor. So ab squared is the greatest common factor. Anything divided by itself is 1, so I factor that all out. I'm going to have a 1. The second term, 3 times 5 is 15a. The third term, 3 cubed is still 27, and a b. Again, I could mentally, I'd multiply this out, make sure I have what I started with. AB squared plus 15a squared b squared plus 27ab cubed. Yep, I'm liking it. Okay, this time I'm going to show you a little bit differently. This is how I normally do it in my head. These you can get by with really no work and just write down the answer. Doesn't happen very often, but it does happen sometimes. Greatest common factor for 12 and 16 is 4. And then the lowest exponent I have for my variables is going to be the greatest common factor, so a. So if I divide each one of these terms by 4a, I'm going to get 4a, and then 12 divided by 4 is 3. A squared divided by a is a. 16 divided by 4 is 4, and anything divided by itself is 1, so the a is gone. And if we use the distributive property, sure enough, we get what we started with. Okay, my greatest common factor this time. I can take 6 out of the first 2 terms, but I can only take 3 out of the third term. So 3 is going to be it for the numbers. The lowest exponent I have for C's is 1C. The lowest exponent I have for D's is 1D. So that ends up being my greatest common factor. So if I take 3CD out of each term, 18 divided by 3 is 6. C divided by C is 1. D squared divided by D is D. 12 divided by 3 is 4. C squared divided by C is C, and the D's cancel out. And divide the last term by 3CD. So 9 divided by 3 is 3, and the C's cancel out, and the D cancels out. If I use the distributive property to check, and I would do this mentally, I get 18 c squared d plus 12 c squared d, oops, that d was squared, plus 9cd. And that is what I started with, so I am happy with my final answer. So these should go pretty quickly for you, and there should not, you could probably get by with these without a lot of work shown if you understand the process and you can do it in your head.